Hi guys. So this is the third time I'm coming to GAFX. It has been a wonderful experience for all the 3 years. So yeah, about Phantom. Usually I explain the tech things. Today, like I'm doing the other part, like I'm telling about the company. Phantom FX has been in India. I mean, it is one of the biggest Indian VFX company. We started at 2011, and we have been growing from there. We started with a very small team, around 10 to 15 people. Now we have around 600 in India only, and we have branches in Chennai, Mumbai and Hyderabad, and everywhere we have more than 100 plus artists. And we have branches across the world. We have a branch in China, we have a branch in US, we have a branch in Canada, and we also are starting to have a branch. We also have a branch in Dubai as well, also UK. So that is what Phantom FX is. So Phantom FX is an Indian company, multinational company, which has branches across the world. And we became public limited in 2022. I think it is the second after Prime Focus, I think. I don't know exactly, but it should be some that. And also, we have acquired Tippett in 2024. So Tippett is the studio who has done Jurassic Park in 1996. So Phil Tippett is the one who did it. So we have acquired that studio, and so it was an honor to have an Indian studio acquiring something big like that. So they started with Jurassic Park, and they have won multiple Oscars. So that is what Phantom FX is. Yeah, and to start with the project, like we discussed, we are going to explain about IC-814, which is basically the Kandahar hijack sequence, which was done in, which was a Netflix show. So for that, I'm just sorry. I'll just present the showreel, our showreel before going to that. And that is what we do. Yeah, I'm handing over to Shekhar. He was our creative head of Mumbai, and he's now he's now the head of Studio Mumbai.
Hello everyone. I see. So we have students here. Can students raise their hand so that I know? So the next presentation which we are doing is enlightening for professionals, but it's very important for the students. So we have very less short time, so we'll try to show as much as we can. So do you watch Hindi films, right? Bangalore does watch Hindi films? Yes, yes. So let's know each other. So have you seen Animal movie? Anybody has seen? Yeah. Who was the hero? actor? Amazing, man. Educated people. So then, have you seen Sam Bahadur? Anybody? Who was the actor? Amazing, man, amazing. Who was the VFX supervisor? Nobody knows, right? So guys, I was the VFX supervisor for that. So my name is Chandrasekhar. I'm the creative head of Phantom FX Mumbai. So today I'm going to present IC814. So this is a project which came to us on a very fag end. We had almost 1.5 months to execute this. Now, we had around 150 shots, but out of that, 130 shots were full CGI. So when I say full CGI, even the professionals will agree that full CGI shots are not easy to achieve. Photorealism is very difficult. So that's the challenge we had. And our team worked day and night to achieve that. And we tried our best. We reached to a level where we got the appreciation from the client. So today we'll present that, then we'll speak on that. Yeah, thank you.
The VFX work on IC814, the gripping web series about the hijacking of Indian Airlines flight IC814, showcases a blend of technical excellence and artistic creativity. The environment design was especially complex, as we had to match it to a historical context, since the hijacking occurred in 1999, and references to the actual runway were limited. To overcome this challenge, we relied on detailed references and carefully crafted textures and lighting to achieve a period-accurate yet visually stunning scene. The VFX team also created a detailed environment of Kathmandu Airport for the daylight scenes, designing the runway, terminal, and surrounding areas to accurately reflect the real location. We created a series of breathtaking CGI sequences of the hijacked plane landing on a runway at night. The shot captures the intensity of the moment, with intricate lighting, reflections, and atmospheric effects that make the plane's descent and landing feel incredibly realistic. One of the most challenging aspects of this project was creating an environment and setting that matched the historical context of the 1999 hijacking, particularly with the limited visual references from that era. Our team conducted extensive research to ensure accuracy, from the architecture and signage to the design of the aircraft and surroundings. This commitment to detail resulted in CGI shots that not only look visually stunning, but are also historically grounded, enhancing the authenticity and immersion of the story. Complex integration of CGI and live action. Over the course of the series, our team crafted approximately 130 CGI shots, each carefully designed to integrate seamlessly with the live action elements. This involved complex compositing, motion tracking, and lighting work to ensure that the CGI elements felt like a natural extension of the filmed world. From sweeping wide shots of cities to intimate moments in the cockpit, our team brought each visual to life with precision and artistry. This showreel represents the dedication, expertise, and passion of our VFX team, who worked relentlessly to create visually spectacular shots that elevate the storytelling of IC-814.
Thank you, thank you. So, when it came to us, it had around three major sequences. So, has anybody seen this web series on Netflix? Great. So, this somebody who has not seen it, for them it's basically the Kandahar hijack happened on Kathmandu airport. Then it went to Amritsar, then to Lahore, then to Kandahar. So we were awarded Kathmandu area, Lahore hovering when the plane hovers over the Lahore city, and Lahore landing and Lahore takeoff. So, so when we started making the environments, it was very difficult to find the actual world references. So we tried to gather more references as much as possible. We made multiple concepts. So major, now the time was very short. Now everybody knows whenever we start, we have to make concepts. The technicality, I'm sure everybody is aware. Today I want to discuss what is the exact approach when you have less time. So what we did is basically once we had the layout ready, we marked each and every shot as per the axis. So if you see there, every shot is marked. There are 4 major axes. We then had shot-wise references for lighting, for its composition. Every shot had a reference, so that whenever the artist is starting a shot, he exactly knows what he has to do. Yes. So then we made axis-wise concepts. Multiple concepts were made. We showed it to the director. Then we logged on to one concept, and then we moved on to the final shots. Now, when we started, there were initial around 20 days, it was just gathering all the references, knowing exactly what we want to do. So we had each and every detail covered. We had exact sky references. There were multiple sky references. Then we logged on to one. Then when you see the series, you will see the sky continuity there. Sky plays a very important role for the director for storytelling. The mood of the web series, the sky definitely depicts the mood. So we had daylight references, the multiple references we gathered. Then there were multiple assets. When we did Lahore city, initially it took us good amount of time because we never knew how it should look. So we had current, Lahore is mostly, whatever is there currently was there last around 20 years back, same only. But it was not that crowded, so we tried gathering more references. We had a drone footage also shot over Amritsar city. Amritsar city is mostly similar to Lahore. So we shot drone footages over Lahore city to know exactly how the lighting looks from the drone view. So there were assets. We had got some assets from Netflix, some we made. There was a plane, there was multiple houses. And now the issue was the night lighting. So, so these were the night lighting references. Now, and this was the Lahore city references which I talked about. And we even shot the footages. If you see the down footages there, these were shot from Amritsar city, over Amritsar city. It had around 1 hour of footage of drone. So exactly we knew how the light reacts. Now the major thing was this was shot on Sony Venice. It's anamorphic. So it's very important for the aspiring guys, please listen. So when you have an anamorphic lens, your camera flare, your defocus works differently. These are the small details which makes your frame different than looking real. So when you shoot from anamorphic lens, we had the exact references of anamorphic defocus. If you see there, the defocus is slightly elongated, oval shaped. So these kind of details we tried to incorporate. We had light hazes, whatever detail we could have gathered. We had multiple references. I cannot put all the references here, but we gathered immense. So the reason I'm saying this, because when you want to do a realistic job, timeline obviously is a problem, but referencing and you knowing exactly you have to do is very important. So whenever you in future also, if you will join any studios, even if anybody is not telling you, please find references or observe. When you go anywhere, we even while doing this, I was flying here and there, so I took multiple footages of airports so that we exactly know what exact detail we have to add. That becomes very important so far as VFX is concerned. When you do animation, it's slightly cartoonish, so you have a liberty there. When it comes to VFX, these kind of small details will make the difference. When you see some Hollywood films, they have those details there. They will know how my anamorphic lens reacts. They know how it will defocus. If you see, there is an oval distortion also. So that's another point, we have to add distortion. Whenever your camera, you track the, because over here, we had our lenses, all lenses majorly, wherever we capture the plane, what tele lenses. Tele lenses are basically 500 mm, 800 mm, 1200 mm. It's very, we are shooting from far. You cannot normally shoot the plane from close while it's taking off or landing. So whatever we do in real life, we try to replicate only that into CGI. So that made our web series as believable as we could. So obviously 2 months was not an accurate time, but yes. So these are the actual shot. We have shot these footages from an anamorphic camera only. So if you see the anamorphic flare which is there, that rainbow oval shaped is there. So the colors, and we try to replicate the same anamorphic lenses into the final output as well. Yes, that's it from my side, as our time is less. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask.
I'll just quickly add, the technical part. Just
Please.
Yeah. Okay. So all the environments were completely done in Blender. If you have seen my previous presentations also, we actually do a lot of work in Blender. The scattering part, we had to do a lot of grasses in it. That was done in Houdini, but the rest of everything is done in Maya. The whole animation, everything else, even the airport set was completely done in Maya. So that is a general technical thing about this show. If you have any other questions, anything technical, creative, you can ask. Because we have a very less time, so make it as fast as possible, please.
Yeah, please. Anybody can get a mic?
Hello.
Yeah.
Just a small doubt. Here you mentioned about the anamorphic lens, right? So while making any simulation, you have to bend it, or according to the distortion, or how?
The lensing is done in post. So there are two things. Distortion, when we see normal our CG camera is linear, it's not distorted. So we add that 0.5 squeeze into 3D camera to get that distortion, to replicate that distortion in the camera. As I said, we had Sony Venice camera. So we added that squeeze ratio, because 2:1 is the ratio of anamorphic. So you have to squeeze ratio, you have to add in 3D camera. So we'll get that lens distortion. And when you say about the flare, that we added in post 2D comp. And obviously over that also we had a distortion node applied, so that the distortion remains the same across the 3D and 2D.
So we calculate the distortion using tools like equalizer and stuff, giving all the lens details. After that we give that in Nuke. So it is
basically we had a grid chart shot.
Yeah.
Every lens, there's a procedure. Basically we shoot with the camera, film camera, a grid chart. So every lens is shot. We exactly know how much distortion every lens has.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Anybody else wants to know anything?
There's one question there.
That was a very brilliant shot. Amazing work.
Thank you.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
that.
Thank you.
It's a basic question. So usually the blender works by, I know that we take some real shot, and on the top of that we overlay some of the items on that. So this whole shot looked like you created the entire scene,
Yes,
like
yes.
the mountains, runway, aircrafts, lightings, buildings, and everything. Is that the way it was made, or did you actually take real footage, and on the top of that, editing was done?
No, no, no. Though, like what we said, like, when Shekhar was telling that all the sequences were full CGI, around 80% was full CGI. That means everything was created from the scratch. Nothing is there. Everything is created in CGI.
So even the mountains, if you see on the background, actually initially we created it in Blender only. Then obviously Blender didn't had that texture which director wanted. So obviously it was in depth. So we matte painted and projected it on the mountain. Rest, the foreground, the slight parallax which is happening is 3D. Because the issue was we had a good amount of camera movement. And good thing for us was it was a telelens. So the parallax was slightly lesser. But still we didn't want to take any chance because Netflix is very, very finicky with the shots. So we want the exact detail which is there. So we had gone with 3D.
Okay, that's great. But how do you get that angle so precisely in the motion?
Which angle are you talking about?
When let's say that the flight is taking off, or in one of the scenes, the flight was approaching with the probably the drone view kind of it of the buildings. So how do you get that? You create it in 3D first, and then.
So we as I told you, we had a good amount of references. We shot entire Amritsar city. We had that footage. So we studied that footage. Then we sat with the Netflix guys and we figured out, okay, this is the path. So in this story, what is happening, entire Lahore city is dark. So he's not given permission to land on the runway. So the hijackers tells him to land, but he looks for some lit spot. There is only one road which is on right hand side. So they take a turn and they go there. So we knew the geography. If you see the first slide, I showed the entire geography where exactly it's night shot. We also made the geography, the turn exactly. So it was planned well. Yes, execution happened in the last 1 month, but initially it was mostly back and forth and planning.
Great, brilliant work.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions?
Guys, you need to ask questions. Yeah.
Yeah, there's one.
Rendering was done with software.
Like I said, it's a mix, right? So all the environment shots, like the Lahore city and all, was completely done in Blender and Cycles. The other, the airport part was done in Maya Arnold.
That's it. Yeah. Thank you.
Anything else?
Is it done? Anybody else wants to ask anything?
Okay, one last question. They are running out of time. She's already standing there.
Is this a
This event is for the students. If they're not asking question, it is not beneficial to anybody.
Yeah.
So, yeah, please.
Great work actually pulled off in the 2 months time span. Anything you feel could have been done better if you were given more time? Because clearly it's a very basic thing which a student can actually pull off given the rendering or an asset creation or anything. So.
Can you repeat the question? I didn't get your question.
He's asking if we get more time, can we do it better? Yes.
Yeah, obviously.
Definitely, time is one important factor, which is a difference between a Hollywood film and an Indian film.
So if I tell you, if I had to add things, I will now. If you see the top shots, there is no mist there. So I wanted the FX pass to be there. I wanted the textures more precise. There are certain areas where the camera goes lower. My asset texture is a bit dodgy. So obviously we hide it with motion blur. We hide it with like Indians we do jugaad. Okay. So jugaad se ho gaya wo. But obviously there is always scope for improvement. Whichever films I have done from last 24 years, when I see it now, I want something to be changed. Yes. There are multiple things we would like to change.
If you ask, whenever we are watching the movies, we feel like, like after the movies which we have done, feel this should have been better, this should have been that is always there as an artist.
And as you said, even the basic things your student can do, the thing which I explained, that is the major difference. And that will take time to understand. Your experience will make you learn that. Moment you learn that, your output will be unique from others. That I'm damn sure about.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Already out of time.
Hi, my name is Karthikeyan. So, as you said, like 120 shots, 130 shots, it's like completely CG is completely difficult to achieve. I totally agree with that. Even the time was short period of time. Why couldn't we use like modern softwares or modern tools to achieve faster way, like Unreal or AI-based softwares?
You can.
We actually tried Unreal. The Lahore city shot, we wanted Unreal. See the wider shots, we are somehow working there. In most wider shots, we did use Unreal. If you see one shot which is going like this, we did use Unreal because of the background. Moment we go down, my Unreal roads and detail is not visible. We normally review it in a big monitor. Moment I see that output in a big monitor, that looks fake. Even if you ask more satisfactory, so we went with Blender.
I totally agree. Thank you.
One thing which I can add for that is like, the effort taken for, whatever, like it's Blender or Unreal, only difference is the render time, right? So whatever tools we are using is not actually the factor. How we approach things. There's a scattering tool in Unreal, there's a scattering tool in Blender, there's a scattering tool in Houdini. So what tool we are using doesn't actually matter. But maybe only in render time, maybe Unreal is definitely real time, it's faster. But other than that, to create that build, mostly it takes the same time. Maybe Unreal needs little more time because you need to tweak a lot of settings because it's not physically accurate at some places. Where Cycles is more physically accurate renderer, even Arnold is. So you get things out of the box where you have to do certain things, certain more buttons on to get things running in Unreal. We have an Unreal team. We are also working on some stuffs in Unreal, but this project was not done because of the speed which we want. We cannot experiment on that.
See, I have one rule. I normally don't do things which I don't know during short time. So whichever I'm confident with, I'll go with that. But still we did both. We went with Blender. And once you ask AI still is far away because we wanted a specific output, a specific camera, specific houses, specific lit. It was very difficult. Still, I personally feel AI is still on social media, which is good to flaunt. But still, it doesn't give what we exactly want. Obviously, it will. Let's see.
If you're okay with an airport video, it will give you. But if you want a specific airport with specific light at specific places, right now it's not ready.
In this, Dieter was specific for the speed also. Like for 100 km per hour, 200 km per hour. Every shot was calculated that way also. So that's the way the camera movement has to be realistic. Yeah. So I guess that's it. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Bangalore. You have been amazing. Give it up for your host, please.
Apologies that we had to hurry you through the question and answer round, but please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, and let's give it up once again for Mr. Anish and Mr. Chandrasekhar. Requesting the both of you to kindly remain back on stage. If I could request Mr. B and Vichar to kindly join us on stage to do the honors and present a token of appreciation on behalf of Bengaluru GAFX 2025 for that last session. A thrilling one indeed. And it's an honor and a privilege to have you be a part of Bengaluru GAFX 2025. Once again, thank you so much for joining us out here and sharing with us your thoughts and your inputs. A true honor and the pleasure is ours. Keep those applauses coming in, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up one more time for Mr. Anish and Mr. Chandrasekhar. Thank you for that incredible concluding session for day 2 of Bengaluru GAFX 2025. It was an absolutely enticing one, and like I said, it was a thrill having you be a part of Bengaluru GAFX 2025.